Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is continuing to break to the downside out of this bearish rising wedge pattern that I have been talking about on this channel over the past 2 to 3 days. So for the subscribers out there, this short-term correction was actually expected, but right now we are coming into contact with a very important moving average. This is the 21-week moving average. So this is a deciding moment for Bitcoin moving forward, and in just a moment in this video, I'll be going over my next Bitcoin price targets, my Bitcoin strategy, and the announcement of a huge once-a-year event in this video. Once again, I'll be covering all of that. So definitely stick around all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on all of that important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. I post these videos every single day here on the channel. So if you could just spend a couple seconds out of your day to click like and subscribe, it honestly means a lot to me and it helps out the channel so much. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, once again, quickly recapping my last few Bitcoin videos, pretty much my last 2 to 3 Bitcoin videos over the past 2 to 3 days. I've been warning you guys of a potential short-term cool-off for Bitcoin. Once again, when Bitcoin was up at these levels towards around 47 to 48,000 US dollars, I was letting you guys know that some bearish price action is likely to happen in the short term. And yeah, so far we've fallen from around 48,000 down towards around 44,000. And after I filmed yesterday's video, we did actually come back up and retest the previous support for this rising wedge pattern and confirm it as resistance with this 4-hourly candle just there, as you can see. And we actually got a rejection from that level, which turned out to be a successful retest of that level, which confirmed the break to the downside out of this rising wedge pattern once again, which is a bearish pattern. So congrats to those of you that have been on the channel over the past couple of days. Some of you did let me know that you sold at these higher prices towards 48,000, and right now you're getting in at these cheaper prices. But it's still very important to pay attention to these support levels for Bitcoin, of course. So right now we have the 21-week moving average, which is a very significant moving average for Bitcoin. Recently, over the past couple of weeks, I've been covering the 21-week moving average and the 200-day moving average as two of the most important moving averages once again. And yeah, this 21-week moving average is currently coming in at just above 44,000 US dollars, pretty much exactly 44,000. And so far we've gotten one small bounce along this moving average so far. And also back here around a week ago, we got another bounce along that moving average. And going back a little bit further, we've got a perfect rejection along that exact moving average as well. So once again, this is a level to pay attention to at around 44,000. But if we start breaking below 44,000, then our next support is basically this entire range just here. This is simply because we have found support in this range previously, and also this range has been huge resistance for Bitcoin over the past couple months. So this range of support starts at around 42 to 43,000 US dollars, and it goes down towards around 40,000. So basically, the $40,000 level is probably our last important level of support before I would then target some much lower prices. And by much lower, I don't mean, an extreme crash or anything. More like 38,000 US dollars would be where I would actually target next if we break below 40,000 first, obviously. And of course, it's totally possible that we hold these higher levels of support and we don't even see those lower price targets. So that's why for the beginners out there, one of the best strategies is simply to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. That way, you're not really going to be missing out on Bitcoin if we don't actually go back down to those areas. So for example, if you're waiting on an exact area to actually enter into Bitcoin, in some scenarios, you might actually not get that price that you're wanting, and you might never get that perfect entry that you want. And then obviously in that case, you'll completely miss out on Bitcoin and probably end up FOMOing in back at higher prices, which is obviously a bad thing to do. So if you have a price target in mind, once again, if you're simply, making some small buys along the way down to that price target, by using that strategy, you are securing some Bitcoin down here before we even enter these lower price targets, so that if we do find support and see a bounce at these higher levels, you once again already have some Bitcoin secured. Now, just before I get into some more Bitcoin price targets and my exact Bitcoin strategy, I'll quickly let you guys know that the World Series of Trading has just begun. It's basically the Olympics for Bitcoin trading. Once again, I don't really recommend trading for the complete beginners out there, but for those of you that have a bit of experience in these markets now, and for those of you that have decided that you want to give trading a go, once again, the World Series of Trading has started just now. And for those of you that are wondering what is involved with this trading competition, basically there's a prize pool of 6 million US dollars, and it's for those that are trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I've actually put together an official team in this World Series of Trading, as you can see just here. And by the way, you'll find a link to this page in the first link in the description down below. And also on this same page, you can see the different prizes, the different eligibility criteria, all of that sort of stuff. And as you can see here, for the actual teams in this event, the maximum first place prize for the teams is actually $2.1 million out of that total 6 million prize pool once again. And it actually tells you here exactly how this prize money is split up. So basically, if you're in the top 10 members in the top team, 30% of that 2.1 million once again gets divided between the top 10. So basically, let's just say our team comes first. If you're in the top 10 members of this team, that would actually get you 63,000 US dollars. So obviously, I'm not really expecting our team to win or anything. I just thought it should be some great fun. And on top of that, if you're actually signing up for my team within the first 2 days, as you can see, you can actually get an extra $70 for free just for signing up. And you can also get NFTs and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not going to drag this out too much longer. And by the way, it's important to mention that I'm not actually getting paid to say anything that I've said in this video. Of course, if our team goes on to win, then I, along with all of you in our team, actually get some of that prize money. But yeah, once again, if you want to check all of this out, it will be the first link in the description down below. But yeah, anyway, getting back into the Bitcoin charts just here, I've already actually mentioned the areas of support that I'm paying attention to for Bitcoin. And if we do get a bounce at one of these levels, the areas of resistance that I'm paying attention to right now is this line of resistance just here, as you can see. But to take a look at some resistance levels that I'm paying attention to for Bitcoin right now to the upside, in case we actually see a bounce at one of these levels of support, then we actually have to take a look at this brand new pattern that is forming on the Bitcoin chart, as you can see just here. First of all, the support, we've seen multiple bounces along this exact line of support, including recently just here. And as you can see, that support is coming in at around 44.4K approximately. So if we break below that level, that will be getting into a price target for this pattern. But just before I mention that, the resistance for this pattern is coming in at around 47,000 approximately, just above 47K as our first major point of resistance to the upside. And now considering the fact that this is a symmetrical triangle pattern, it doesn't actually have a bias leaning towards bullish or bearish. It can break either way. And so how would you actually make money from a pattern like this if we don't even know what way it's going to go just yet? Well, for those of you that have a little bit more experience in these markets, once again, you could set up conditional orders below support for a short position or above resistance for a long position in case we actually break one of those important levels. Once again, either way, whether we're going to the upside or to the downside, you can profit either way once again. Now, as I always say, the best strategy for the beginners is simply to dollar cost average. I don't actually recommend leverage trading Bitcoin like that for the complete beginners out there. But yeah, for those of you that have experience in these markets and you just don't know how to actually enter those sort of trades, I did actually make a full trading tutorial video where I completely showed how I trade and how to set up certain positions and all of that sort of stuff. Once again, that will be linked in the description down below. But yeah, getting into the actual price target for this pattern just here, if we break the support, the price target is coming in at just above 40,000 US dollars. So once again, that is pretty much the bottom of this major support range just here. But of course, we cannot forget the areas of support between the current price and that actual price target just there. So even though that's the technical price target, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin is definitely going to go there, even if we do break this support. Once again, considering the fact that we do have other areas of support for Bitcoin as well. But yeah, getting into the price target to the upside, if we actually break resistance just here, the price target for Bitcoin is coming in at around 51,500 US dollars. So from the point of the breakout just there to that price target, that would be over an 8% gain, nearly a 9% gain for Bitcoin moving forward, which is obviously a pretty decent gain in the short term. And that $51,000 level is also really important, not just because that's pretty close to this price target just here, but 51,000 US dollars is actually the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level when you're looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high down to that $29,000 low a couple months ago. Now taking a quick look at the Bitcoin long positions over on the Bitfinex exchange, as you can see just here, there's definitely no change in the trend so far. So over the past 4 weeks, all of these long positions have been closing. These long positions have been taking profits on the Bitcoin price. And so this has actually provided a huge selling pressure on the Bitcoin price because of course, when you're closing a long position, you have to sell Bitcoin, you have to sell your position. So it would actually be quite difficult for Bitcoin to look extremely bullish pretty soon because once again, these long positions are providing huge sell pressure. So it's pretty much as soon as these long positions start bottoming out and actually start entering into new positions again, that's when the buying demand will start kicking in. And that's when it's more likely that the Bitcoin price will start bouncing to the upside. Now taking a look at the Bitcoin short positions on the same exchange and the same time frame, the daily time frame, once again, the short positions on the other hand have pretty much done nothing over the past couple of weeks just here. They've pretty much just head sideways. They've done nothing since yesterday. Now quickly zooming out on the daily Bitcoin chart just here and bringing out a couple of our favorite indicators on this channel. Once again, the fact that the Bitcoin price is still remaining above the 21-week moving average, that is still pretty good here in the short term, but we do have the Bitcoin RSI trending slightly to the downside on this daily time frame. And we also just confirmed the death cross on the daily time frame for these moving averages in the MACD, as you can see just here. And the actual momentum for Bitcoin, the momentum for the Bitcoin price has actually flipped flipped into the red. So we are officially in bearish momentum for the Bitcoin price on the daily time frame. So what this basically means is just in the short term, potentially over the next few days, according to these indicators, once again, it is quite likely that the Bitcoin price is going to continue in a short-term call-off. Now, that could mean, just a bit more of a sideways consolidation before these indicators actually reset, or it could be, some slight price action to the downside towards these lower areas of support once again. So if you are dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin or building a long position, there will be opportunities for that over the next few days, potentially over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now, the last short-term buying opportunity just here actually lasted around 4 to 5 days. And once again, I'll let you guys know about that buying opportunity around 1 to 2 days before that actually happens. The same as this one here. I'll let you guys know around 1 to 2 days before this buying opportunity actually started. And so once again, these indicators are basically just telling us that on the daily time frame, we have the momentum still pushing to the downside. But time frames are really important to understand because once again, this is on the daily time frame where some of these bearish signs are showing, such as these major bearish divergences, for example. But the daily time frame only really tells us what's going to happen over the next few days, potentially over the next couple of weeks. But if you're zooming out to the weekly time frame, as you can see just here, this gives us a whole different perspective. I covered this in yesterday's video, but right now we are officially getting the golden cross in these moving averages on the MACD on the weekly time frame. So once again, the weekly time frame tells us what's most likely to happen over the next few weeks and months. So this is looking at the bigger time frames, months from now. And once again, in this case, on the weekly time frame, we actually have the momentum, which actually reached its bearish peak in around this price range over the past couple months. Once again, and right now we are trending to the upside and we are just about to enter the green zone. We are just about to enter into the bullish momentum on the weekly time frame, showing a more bullish trend potentially over the next few months or so. So all of this short-term call-off and bearish price action that I'm talking about, once again, that is just in the short term, that is temporary. And that's why I've associated it with a buying opportunity, because that's exactly what I'm doing. That's my strategy moving forward. Once again, I let you guys know a few days ago that I am preparing for a buying opportunity moving forward. I'm preparing for some lower prices, and pretty soon I will begin to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and hold that Bitcoin for the longer term. And keep in mind that on the 4-hour time frame just here, taking a look at just the rough trend in the RSI and the MACD moving averages just here, we're actually getting pretty close to the same length in this downtrend on these indicators as the last short-term cool-off. So if this simply were to play out something similar to the last short-term cool-off, once again, we could potentially start bouncing here within the next few days, potentially within the next 2 to 3 days before we start heading back to the upside. But once again, that is just a bit of speculation at this point in time because that is only just based on what we actually did last time. So yeah, to wrap up this video, I've told you my important levels of support and resistance that I'm paying attention to. I've told you my Bitcoin strategy moving forward in the short term and the longer term, and where the short term trend is likely going and the longer term trend is likely going. And then obviously it is up to you with what you decide to do with your money. But hopefully all of this information can help you make the best decision for you. And yeah, if you appreciate these videos every single day here on the channel, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. Once again, I post these videos every day on the channel. So if you just spend a couple seconds out of your day to click like and subscribe, which is completely free, once again, that seriously helps out the channel so much and I really do appreciate it. And considering the fact that right now we are potentially in the middle of a nice opportunity in the overall crypto markets as we are entering into this short-term call-off, there's never been a better time to share these videos around with your friends and stay active in these crypto markets. And once again, if you want a free $70 and potentially a share in $6 million, you'll find that in the first link in the description down below once again. But that's really everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed and I'll see you all in the next video.